Welcome to Same Pod, Different Cast. Each week we talk about a crazy story. I'm Mel Black.
And I'm Marie White. We're a couple of moms who like listening to tales of survival, humor, and mystery, but also be around our kiddos. Parental discretion is advised. The pursuit of education often overrides distance, finances, and personal comfort, reflecting a universal desire for intellectual growth and a brighter future. Although education can have a transformative power, the students in today's story may have learned something they were not expecting. This is a surprising lesson. Imagine this. It's 2012, and you are a senior in high school, and you're thinking about what your next steps in life will be. Your test scores were not good enough to be accepted into a college, so you're thinking that you will immediately have to go into the workforce. That is, until you're presented with an opportunity, a lifeline, really. The prestigious Shandong Institute of Light Industry, which is in China, has sent you an offer letter for a pilot program. The program is for students specifically in your position, and you're excited as this is a second chance. Naturally, you sign up.
Okay, you have me intrigued.
This is a tale from Hainan, the bustling capital of China's Shandong province. Hainan is a modern, vibrant city where 68 students were given this opportunity. Although the school is affiliated with the Shandong Institute, it does operate autonomously, handling its own admissions, finance, teaching, and administration. Honestly, it reminds me a lot of that art school that you went to, Mel, that was its own school, but it was connected to another school.
Yes. I don't know if we were supposed to be naming that said school, but I wasn't there very long.
But you did attend.
I did go.
So, for 4 years, they lived the life of university students. They attended classes on the Shandong campus, sat for exams, and built friendships. On a side note, I was part of a cohort when I was in college, and it was awesome, honestly, because we would move from class to class with the same people. And I found it very helpful. You were able to reach out for help because you had built these friendships and you had this trust factor with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So I really appreciated this. And this is what these students had. All 68 of them moved throughout these 4 years together.
Okay.
These students were dedicated 4 years of their life, countless hours of studying, and a significant amount of money 8,000 yen in tuition each year, which in American money is about $1,114, which to me honestly sounds amazing because that's about what I spent per class at my college. So
When was this? I'm sorry, what?
2012.
Oh, so this is still
So,
recent. Man, that's insane. I mean, well, that made just our schooling insane, but we all knew that.
yes. All of this money was invested in what they believed was a path to a brighter future. They pictured themselves walking across the stage, receiving their diplomas, and stepping into the careers that they had worked so hard for. They believed they were ready to embark on the next chapter of their lives as proud alumni of the Shandong Institute of Light Industry. Just days away from receiving their hard earned diplomas, when these students were ready to start their careers, a discovery was made. Their diplomas, their dreams, their past 4 years, all were based on a meticulously crafted lie.
I was just saying, to myself. I was like, this doesn't sound good. This does not sound good. She's building this up a little too much.
Yeah, this is not a plot of a movie. It's the shocking reality faced by these 68 students, as reported by the Hainan Times. Their teachers claimed affiliation. The letterheads on their documents mirror the university's official stationery. It was, by all accounts, a meticulously crafted illusion. The teachers spoke with such authority, like they were truly faculty members of this respected university. They even showed official looking documents, like I said before. Everything pointed to them being legitimate students. It was an intense 4 years full of hard work, a hard workload, and a belief in the future that they were excited about graduating from this institute.
Okay, so my initial thought, and I'm so sorry it was delayed. My initial thought was, did that price seem comparable to what the actual institute would charge? Because maybe it was like kind of a too good to be true kind of thing.
Honestly, that's a great question, and I don't know what the price of education goes for in China.
Okay.
They might not deal with such inflation like we do, so the price of education might not, their dollar might mean more. I don't know, but that's a really really great question that I didn't
I
research. So
know that's
apologies, I
fine.
can't.
That's fine. But this story, better end with, and the institute decided to give them diplomas. I bet you it's not, but just keep going.
This kind of scenario, while deeply personal for those involved, highlights a chilling vulnerability within educational systems. And I am going to go on this tangent a little bit because I think it's important to highlight that I mean this for all countries. I don't mean this for just China. I think there's an immense pressure on students to gain a university education, especially in a competitive environment, can make them incredibly susceptible to deceptive opportunities. In this case, the allure of a pilot program offered a backdoor into a reputable institution was a powerful draw. And the sophistication of the operation, like this, using copied official documents and even operating on the legitimate university grounds, points to a concerning failure in oversight by either the legitimate institution itself or the regulatory bodies.
Yeah, because how do you even, as a student, how do you even like fact check, quote unquote, that this was not legitimate?
Yeah, I'm going to get into that a little bit later, but I think there are ways to do it, but I think it's completely natural that, I mean, you're on the university grounds, so you feel like this is like all real,
Yeah.
but
But also, like, why is the university not checking? Hey, there's something over here that says it's us. Is it us? You know what I mean?
yeah, I do. One student was reported saying, "Until now, our teachers all claim to be from the Shandong Institute. We only just found out that they were not affiliated with the university at all. So now they're avoiding us and they're not answering their phones," which is not shocking. They're probably like high and dry, like they're
Yeah.
gone.
Oh my gosh.
In a case that sent shockwaves through the academic community, a man identified as Zhao Lishan orchestrated the sophisticated scam involving this distribution of counterfeit university admissions offers. His target audience was students who, despite their aspirations, had failed to achieve the requisite scores on the notorious competitive entrance exams. This illicit operation preyed on the vulnerability and the desperation of these students, offering them a fraudulent pathway to higher education. The details of his methods and the full extent of the scam's reach are still under investigation, but it is believed that numerous unsuspecting individuals were duped by his deceptive promises.
Okay, how many professors, again, quote unquote, were there? How?
Oh, I mean, yeah, gonna get into that too because I'm
Okay.
just like, this is not just one person's doing,
Okay,
but
I'm jumping the gun then. I'm
no, you're fine.
I have so many thoughts.
Yeah. As of now, Zhao is in the wind. The police are trying to find him, but they have not been successful.
Lovely.
But to get into what you were just saying, the one thing that I can't stop thinking about is that it wasn't just one man. There were so many people playing roles as teachers. And if I think about my college experience, the second college that I went to was a satellite campus. And there was a receptionist there, there was a librarian there. There were like all of these people there. And I don't know if it's the same type of thing in a different country. I'm not, but I'm just going off of my experience.
Hmm.
But how many people were involved in the scam? And like the other thing is, I did the math on this, and $1,114 times 4 times 68 is $303,000, roughly,
Okay.
which is a lot of money. But how much profit did they really make off of it, assuming that they had to pay rent on the building that they were using because it is connected to the institute? They had all of these supplies with the paper and the desk and everything, assuming that those weren't there originally. And I'm assuming all of these people had to get paid. So at the end of it, if they only had $300,000 from the students, how much money did they really make?
So I think you're leaving out the possibility that a lot of stuff might have been stolen. Yeah, maybe the rent on the building, if they it or they could have just been using the building if it was truly attached to the campus, and no one had oversight to it. The documents, again, the letterheads, that could have been stolen. So I think there was a way to work around to cut down on costs, quote unquote. But yeah, again, my question would be, how many professors are we talking about? So, and if you're getting into like receptionists, that vehicle in your neighborhood. Uh,
Oh my gosh.
yeah,
I'm so sorry if that picks up. I will obviously like will mute it, but
yeah,
it drives past usually around 9 o'clock. So I'm sorry.
no, you're fine. So, yeah, that makes me wonder again, 303,000. It really just makes me wonder, what is the cost of living? Is that actually a decent amount? Or were
I mean,
they
if they're
expecting to keep doing this?
I mean, if their education was only $1,000 a year, $1,100 a year,
Yeah,
I mean, 300,000 probably does go a long way.
crazy.
The long term consequences for students in such situations are devastating, obviously. Beyond the immediate financial loss of tuition and living expenses, there is a profound loss of academic progress that will never be recognized. This directly impacts job prospects, the ability to pursue further education, and overall financial opportunities. But perhaps even more damaging is the psychological toll, the betrayal, the erosion of trust in the educational institutions, and the crushing sense of a loss of time. That's the only thing you can't get back. Like you can get more money, but you can't get the time back that you have put forth, and
Right,
it was completely a waste.
right.
For young people just embarking in their adult lives, this can lead to deep disillusionment and lasting emotional scars.
Yeah, the only thing I can think, obviously, I've never been in this situation, but I have lived a life, and I've lived a few of them. Because I feel like your teens are a life, your 20s are a life currently, and so this is just this is not a mountain, this is a pebble. So it is not the full picture. Your life will continue. Like, this is just unfortunately a wrong turn. that you can get back on track for it, but my goodness, yes, it would absolutely leave some solid trust issues.
Oh yeah. And I agree with you. Like I would hope that that institute would recognize. I mean, they obviously had no idea what curriculum was being used, if there even was one. They have no idea that they were being taught. So I could also see them being like, "I'm sorry, we just can't recognize the work that you have put forth." But
Right.
man, yeah. I mean, the takeaway for me of this opportunity is, if it seems too good to be true, it usually is. And you, although some would think that you wouldn't have to do this, you need to do your due diligence and check. So you just, in this specific situation, could have called the school to make sure that this is real. It's like, hey, I'm part of this pilot program. Is this a real
Well,
program?
that's you're saying that, and in my brain I'm like, I don't think anybody had ever thought that they would have to make sure that was legitimate.
Yeah. I think people who are into scamming are coming up with clever ways, more and more clever ways to scam people out of things. And I would have never thought education would ever be a way you could scam somebody out of money.
Yeah.
But to go 4 years
Right. Because I
is,
I can totally see a scenario in which you send in tuition money and then you show up and like no one's there. It's a ghost town.
yeah,
But for that to continue and to run that is nuts.
yeah. It's a dedication and a commitment to the worst degree for all involved. Like, and I mean, the way that you're thinking about it before is the teachers that they hired could very well have been people that had no clue that this wasn't real.
Oh, that's true too.
So,
That's absolutely true. Because they honestly could have been like, I'm working for this institute. You
yeah.
know, what an opportunity for me. I hate it. I hate all of it. That's my takeaway.
Research, writing, and editing by Marie White. Theme music by Caleb Duggar. A special thanks to Mel Black. You can find all our sources in the show notes and photos on our Instagram, username same pod different cast. Follow, like, and subscribe for future content.